I get it now. Ever since episode 1 of the show, I myself have been a massive fan of the fourth wall breaking Tumblr sexy wabbit. He's funny, charismatic, and is voiced by the Swiss Army knife of a VA, Michael Kovac. All of these factors came together to create an instant fan favorite. But then the fandom splintered once episode 2 highlighted another aspect of Jax that was only touched on briefly: malice. He wasn't just slapstick, he was abusive. He played rough, lusted for violence, laughed at other people's expense, and rarely, if ever, felt bad about it. And this made him my number 1 character. Oh yeah. While the fandom was having discussion wars over whether Jax was a misunderstood whoopee or an irredeemable crash out based on split-second facial animation, I myself was enjoying the chaos every time he was on screen. Oh, I know he has irredeemable aspects. I just don't care. You need to understand something about me. I'm that kid who laughs like I'm high on Joker gas as Ray Kroc got away with his machinations. I want a divorce after passing the salt brought me to tears. So even if Jax was an absolute bastard like Gooseworks intended, I was game from the jump. That was until episode 4 and 5 systematically showed us that there was more to Jax than meets the eye. Hold on, Jax vibe checked Pomni? He's masking himself with cynicism? He cares a little! Episode 1 was what told the audience that Jax has the bare decency to move the other circus members out of Kaufmo's rampage when he really didn't have to. Then episode 5 dropped, and holy moly, there is more to Jax. Not only did he open up to Pomni, but more of his dynamic with the rest of the cast was being fleshed out. He doesn't just annoy Ragatha for the fun of it, he has legitimate beef with her. He was still an asshole, but the point was that he was developing, and that development was through Pomni. Yeah, I ship it. Not initially, but after episode 5, I was all in on Funny Bunny. Of course, I knew such a pair would be unsustainable in the long run, but hey, I'm a sucker for sinking ships. So when the teaser for episode 6 dropped, and it hinted at the two spending the entire episode together, holding hands, laughing maniacally, I OD'd on Funny Bunny YouTube comics for a week. Yes, I like pain. By episode 5, we already knew through subtext what exactly was Jax's damage, but episode 6 let us know just how deep his devil-may-care mindset truly goes. He straight up doesn't see himself, or anyone else in the circus for that matter, as people anymore. Only cartoons with gimmicks and archetypes that everyone usually sticks to, a notion that's disproven not only by the series proper, but also within the episode itself. Since Jax is narratively in the wrong, the characters in the Amazing Digital Circus aren't characters at all. They are people. Sure, they have distinguishing traits, but they are all capable of being more than themselves at any given notice. Notably, their archetypes only hold true when they're left alone in a vacuum, with Jax being the loneliest in the circus to his own fault. Not being able to comprehend human nuances in the people at the circus is a trait Jax relatably shares with the fandom. Whenever Ragatha or Pomni displayed traits that went against their preconceived archetypes, the reaction is usually a mix of doom posting and negativity towards that display. When they aren't playing their part, they have to be secretly evil or toxic adjacent. It's clear that one of the main themes going forward is that these characters are human. They are not tropes, they are people with issues. It's something not a lot of people are used to in their media, and it shows. Fans that prescribe to Jax's narrow point of view have been burned and will continue to be burned by the series moving forward. In a similar vein, Jax is refusing his humanity and is continually suffering for it. Fans tend to be on either camp of the complexity spectrum when it comes to Jax, but two things can be true at once. Jax could definitely have gone through the physical and emotional trauma that explains his behavior. It could also be true that Jax is irredeemable in the manner of which he copes by deflecting trauma onto everyone around him. Regardless of a character's motivations or intentions, theory and practice are very different ballgames, and in practice, Jax is a tool. Trauma and virtual immortality may be a good explanation for why he is the way he is. However, it's not a good excuse. Even if you didn't believe Jax was that bad at first, the way Gangle described Jax in episode 6 sounded domestic. You know how Optimus Prime would rather scowl at Megatron's demise than celebrate the potential end of his destructive rampage? Or how Goku, for all the atrocities Frieza committed on Namek, even killing Krillin in front of his very eyes, still looked at the dust stain that used to be Frieza in pity. It's because they had potential to be better. Even though they made their choices, the blueprint was right there. It's arguably their least relatable trait as characters to an audience, since the audience will rarely share that attachment they may have for their foes, and will only see the good side of offing them immediately. Even though it would be better for everyone else involved, they just can't help but mourn what was lost. That's Jax for me. His friendship with Pomni made me see an avenue for his character that's entirely possible for him, but one he refuses to walk down even for a moment. He was having fun, opening up, being himself, but he couldn't help but nuke his chance at a genuine friendship. He was so close. We were on the verge to greatness, but he couldn't let himself not be the funny one. I know he has reasons, but again, theory and practice are different. He's just being a self-destructive asshole. There's no excuse for him, and there never was. He is a grown-ass man with accountability issues. He'll constantly bite the hands that reach out to him if it means he's fulfilling whatever existence he thinks for himself. He doesn't like being the bad guy, but his denial of his humanity makes him so every time. I clocked way back in episode 4 that Jack had to have been a blame sponge growing up because he had traits I related to on a spiritual level. He says he doesn't care about what others think of him, but he clearly does. He doesn't want to be the bad guy, but he'll always be blamed for everything that is and isn't his fault. So he stopped trying altogether. As much as I feel for him, he's entirely responsible for who he is now, and there's no getting around that. Not anymore. Is Jax still my favorite character of the Amazing Digital Circus? Yes. Does he cause the most trouble in the circus? Yes. Is he funny and charismatic and just overall fun to watch? Yes. Is he abusive emotionally and physically? Yes. Does he have positive traits? Yes. Does he force his worldview onto everyone? Yes. Is he relatable given the circumstances? Yes. Is Jax an irredeemable character outright? No. Will he be redeemed? Also no. That's what hurts the most, in my opinion. Jax, for all his shortcomings, will always have the opportunity to do better, but will likely never choose it for himself. As a Jax fan and a part-time Funny Bunny shipper, who's looking for new employment, by the way, I'll always be looking out for Jax's best interests as the show progresses. But as much as it pains me, he has everything coming to him. So here I am, a day one Jax supporter, looking forward to his eventual comeuppance. Thank you for watching all the way through. If you liked the video, why not leave a like? I'm going to be making more Amazing Digital Circus video essays in the near future, so consider subscribing and ringing that bell so that you can get the notification whenever I do drop that. If you have any thoughts on how Jax turned out, if there are any Funny Bunny shippers watching the video, please leave a comment, let me know your thoughts. With that said, my name is Dark Dive, always spelled with the 23, but the numbers are silent. Peace.